All right, so let's jump right in. There has been a ton of activity on the Cardano blockchain lately. You've got projects shipping updates, launching new features, hitting some major milestones. So what's really going on here? What does all this buzz actually mean for the ecosystem as a whole? Let's take a closer look.
You know, it's easy to hear that an ecosystem is busy, but what does that actually look like on the ground? Well, think of it like this. We're going to take a tour through this bustling digital city, and we're going to stop at a few key districts to see exactly where the action is happening and what it tells us about Cardano's growth. Okay, so our first stop on this tour? The financial district. This is where the money moves, where your assets get put to work, and where you can find all sorts of new ways to earn, stake, and lend. This is basically the engine room of the whole ecosystem, and let me tell you, it is absolutely humming right now.
Okay, before we dive into some of the crazy numbers, let's just get on the same page with two key terms. First up, staking. Super simple. It's basically you locking up your crypto to help support the network. And for doing that, you get rewards. And then there's APR, or annual percentage rate. That's just the fancy way of saying how we measure those rewards over a year. Simple enough, right? Okay, let's see it in action.
And look, this isn't just some theory. I mean, look at Angel Finance. They just paid out over 35,000 ADA to their holders. That works out to a 16.4% APR. So we're talking about real, tangible yield being generated in the ecosystem right now.
And if you want a sense of just how big this is getting, check this out. The Palm economy just announced that nearly 1 billion, with the B, of its Palm tokens are now being staked. That is a huge number, and it shows you that a ton of users are engaged and really believe in where this project is headed. I love this quote from the folks at Fluid Tokens, because it just perfectly captures the vibe right now. It suggests there's a lot of confidence from the big investors, the whales, and from regular users too. When you have the big investors and regular borrowers both jumping in, that's a super healthy sign. It means the whole market is buzzing with confidence.
All right, so let's zoom out for a second and look at the big picture here. What's cool about this is that it's not just showing activity, it's showing variety. You've got everything from direct rewards with Angel Finance to big protocol upgrades from Surf, all the way to growing lending markets with Fluid Tokens. It means the financial district isn't just a one-trick pony. It's a really diverse, maturing landscape.
Okay, so from the financial district, let's head over to our next stop, the town hall. This is where things get really interesting, because here, the community isn't just using the platform, they're actively shaping its future. We're talking about governance.
So what exactly is on-chain governance? Well, think of it this way. Holding a project's token literally gives you a vote, a real one. You can directly influence huge decisions on everything from how the treasury is managed to who gets hired. It's what makes decentralization real by putting the power right into the hands of the community. And this is a perfect example of how this works in the real world. So you've got Indego Protocol, right? They're holding an election for a person to join their outreach group. It's about people. Then you have Nuvola Digital, and they're asking their community to decide on their entire treasury strategy. That's a huge financial decision. Totally different issues, but in both cases, who's making the call? The token holders. Yeah, and this quote from Nuvola? It just hits the nail on the head. This isn't like some online poll or a suggestion box. It's basically direct democracy for a digital company. Your participation, your vote, it has a direct, real impact on where these projects are going. All right, for our final stop on the tour, we're heading to the real bleeding edge, the innovation lab. This is where the foundational tech, the stuff that everything else gets built on, is being launched and upgraded. This is the deep, game-changing stuff.
And you can just feel the energy in this announcement from Pondora. I mean, after working quietly in the background, they're basically saying, okay, we're done building in secret, it's time to show the world what we've got. It signals a major moment for them.
And just look at what they're dropping. This isn't just some minor update. Account abstraction, that's a huge one. It basically makes using the blockchain way simpler, so you don't have to deal with all the complicated wallet stuff. Then there's intent trading. Imagine just saying, I want to trade this for that at the best price, and the system just does it for you. It's so much more intuitive. All of this together, it's a massive upgrade to the user experience. It's all about making things smoother for everyone on Cardano.
And you know, it's not all just happening in the world of software. We're also seeing new physical infrastructure pop up. The sale of these world mobile airnodes shows that the ecosystem is literally expanding into the real world, building out the hardware that a truly decentralized network needs to work.
Okay, so we've been through the financial district,
we've stopped by the town hall, and we've peeked inside the innovation lab. Let's take a step back now and put all these pieces together. What does all this activity really tell us about where Cardano is at today?
The big takeaway here, really, is that Cardano is growing on multiple fronts all at once. It's not like there's just one exciting thing happening. Instead, you've got the financial tools getting more mature and useful, you have the community getting a real say through governance, and you have the core technology taking huge leaps forward, all happening at the same time. And that kind of parallel growth, that is a classic sign of a really healthy, maturing ecosystem.
And that kind of leaves us with one last really interesting thought. We've seen that the ecosystem isn't just busy, it's evolving, and it's evolving fast. So the real question to chew on is this. With all these different pieces, finance, governance, tech, all clicking into place, what's going to be Cardano's next big moment?